Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Finance with Matt, brought to you by Tribesman Financial. Today, we're going to be focusing on your obligations to the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority ZIMRA as a registered business entity, which are 1. Your obligation to register with the authority. 2. Your obligation to submit an accurate amount of tax relevant to a specific revenue head within a specific period, together with a return or form to reflect the amounts paid's allocation. And 3. Your obligation to keep reasonable and proper records and books of accounts and any other documents required to be accounted for in terms of the various acts administered by ZIMRA for at least 6 years. So, let's begin. Your first obligation as a business entity to the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority is to register your business within 30 days of starting it. This is a requirement by law and registration can be done online. However, before we jump into the registration process, we need to answer some of the most frequently asked questions we receive at Tribesman Financial at the beginning of this process, which are: what is tax? Why should I pay it? Who is the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority? And what are some of the taxes my business is liable to pay? To fully understand your obligations as a registered taxpayer, it is important to understand what tax is, how it affects your business and you as a Zimbabwean citizen. The simplest definition of a tax is a payment by taxpayers which is used to benefit all the citizens, whereby the government uses the collected revenues to establish infrastructure such as hospitals, schools, pay civil servants' salaries, as well as the facilitation of other public utility services. Who is ZIMRA? In Zimbabwe, the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority is the body responsible for collecting taxes and other revenue streams for the government. What are some of the taxes my business is liable to pay? Every business entity is required to submit an accurate amount of tax towards any or all of the taxes administered by ZIMRA, which include income tax, pay-as-you-earn, value-added tax, withholding tax, and customs duty, to mention a few. Depending on your type of entity and the revenue head you register your business under, you will be liable to pay some or all of these taxes at any given period. Having answered some of the most frequently asked questions, we can now explore how to register your business. Registering your business is a simple task that involves logging into the ZIMRA e-services portal, creating your account, uploading your information, and once this is done, you will have an e-services portal that you can use to submit your returns and request a tax clearance. During this process, it is always best to seek advice to avoid errors. Obligation to submit accurate taxes and returns. As soon as your registration is complete, your business will be considered a taxpayer from that date going forward. You are required to submit taxes together with a return reflecting the revenue head you are paying for and for which you are registered. Most business entities have a misconception that once you are registered and you have acquired a tax clearance certificate, you are done. This is grossly incorrect and forms the basis for most headaches. Having a tax clearance means that you have no outstanding taxes owing to the authority and your obligation requires you to keep it so. The failure to submit returns, whether your business is operational or not, attracts penalties and interest on outstanding amounts. Obligation to keep reasonable and proper records and books of accounts and any other documents required to be accounted for in terms of the various acts administered by ZIMRA for at least 6 years. As a registered entity, you are required to keep records of transactions. That may include sales invoices, purchases, receipts, copies of returns, and expenses, which will help you accurately calculate your taxes due for specific periods and may also be used by the revenue officers as a reference for your payments. These are your obligations to the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority and form the basis for a registered business entity operating within the country. Any business that does not uphold any of these obligations will be operating against the law and will be liable to penalties or jail time depending on the level of offense. So, take some time and take a look at your operations and see whether you fully understand what it means to be a registered taxpayer in Zimbabwe. And if you haven't registered yet, please do and play your part in building a better Zimbabwe. Once again, thank you for watching. Please help us grow the channel to allow us to get this information to more people by subscribing to the channel, liking this video, or sharing this video to other business-minded people like you. If you have anything to add or if you have any questions, please feel free to drop a comment on the comment sections below. Tribesman Financial is a financial consultancy business that can help you with the registration process and the calculation and submission of all your returns.